The following is a short presentation on the Manatee County's Student Growth section for teachers of kindergarten through third grade, Non-FSA, and Non-Algebra 1 courses. Manatee County School District believes that it is the responsibility of the district and its professional staff to see that students' needs are being met. To ensure student needs are being met, an evaluation system based on educational research is used to evaluate all instructional personnel, improve the quality of instruction, and increase student learning growth. There are three components to Manatee County's teacher evaluation system. The first two components, the Instructional Practice Score, or IPS, and the Professional Development Plan, or PDP, are based on the Danielson Framework for Teaching and Administrator Observations and comprise 50% and 16.7% of a teacher's evaluation, respectively. The third component, which makes up the remaining 33.3% of the evaluation, is based on student learning growth. There are two steps in shaping Manatee County's teacher evaluation system. First, the Florida legislature passes legislation shaping teacher evaluation systems around the state. After the Florida legislature, the Manatee County's Instructional Personnel Assessment Task Force, or IPAT Committee, adjusts the district's evaluation system each year in response to changes from the Florida legislature. The IPAT Committee is made up of administrators and representatives from the Manatee Education Association. A number of changes were made to the student growth portion of the evaluation system this year. Student characteristics such as ELL and gifted status are now taken into account. The threshold for a highly effective rating was lowered. Only the upper end of the confidence band has to be in highly effective for a teacher to be classified as highly effective. Teacher confidence bands are now slightly smaller. Throughout this presentation, all major changes to the evaluation system will be marked with a pile of change. For teachers of courses that are not tied to the state VAM calculations from FSA Math or FSA ELA exams, the student growth portion of the teacher evaluation is calculated by the school district. For non-FSA courses, the initial calculations are performed at the district level using data from a variety of sources. Student growth assessments measure growth between two testing points in the school year and compare teachers using average student growth. Student performance assessments compare teachers based on average student performance on an assessment. Student pass rate and proficiency assessments compare teacher exam pass rates to national, international, and district pass rates for those courses. The district currently takes into account 5 student characteristics when calculating mean student growth and performance for teachers, including English Language Learner Status, or ELL, Exceptional Student Education Status, or ESE, Gifted Status, Attendance, and Free and Reduced Lunch Status. Accounting for these characteristics helps create a more level playing field when evaluating teachers in different schools and classrooms around the district. After the initial calculations of teacher averages and standard deviations, the district assigns student growth ratings based on the distribution of teacher values for each assessment. 3 things are needed to assign a student growth rating to a teacher: more than 10 students who took the assessment in the past 3 years, an average student growth or performance value, a standard deviation unless teaching a course using pass rates or proficiency rates. The district uses 4 rating categories to evaluate teachers: highly effective, effective, needs improvement, and unsatisfactory. To set the thresholds for the rating categories, 2 things are needed: the district average and the standard deviation of teacher averages. Before going too far, let's do a quick review of standard deviation. The easiest way to remember standard deviation is as a measure of how spread out values are. Let's look at a small classroom example. This line represents the class average. There are 3 students in this class: Student A, Student B, and Student C. Standard deviation is a way of measuring how spread out the kids are, or how far they typically are from the class average. Thresholds for teacher ratings are set based on the distribution of teacher values across the district. In the following examples, the district average equals 0 and the standard deviation of teacher values equals 2. The highly effective threshold is set at the district average, or in this example, 0. All teachers above this threshold are then classified as highly effective. The unsatisfactory threshold is the district average minus the district standard deviation, or 0 minus 2 equals -2. All teachers below this are classified as unsatisfactory. The needs improvement threshold is the district average minus half the district standard deviation, or 0 minus 2 divided by 2 equals -1. All teachers in this range are classified as needs improvement or developing. Finally, between the highly effective and needs improvement thresholds falls effective. The effective range spans from half a standard deviation below the district's average to the district's average, or 0 minus 2 divided by 2 to equals -1 to the district average of 0. So those are the rating categories. But how do the teachers get placed in those categories? Remember earlier how each teacher needed a value and a standard deviation? To give teachers the benefit of the doubt, confidence bands are used when classifying them into ratings categories. A teacher's confidence band is their average value plus or minus 1/4 of the teacher's standard deviation. For example, if a teacher's average equals 0 and a teacher's standard deviation equals 1, the teacher's confidence band stretches from -1/4 to +1/4. Their lower confidence band is -1/4, and their upper confidence band is +1/4. Here's another way to look at confidence bands. A teacher's class average captures a single point on this normal distribution. Using this teacher's average, she would be classified as needs improvement. Unlike the teacher's average, the confidence band recognizes that there are multiple students in each class and shows the range of those students. In this case, bumping this teacher up from needs improvement to effective. To receive a highly effective rating, the upper end of the teacher's confidence band must be greater than or equal to the highly effective threshold, and the lower end of the teacher's confidence band must be greater than or equal to the needs improvement threshold. So if the upper end of a teacher's confidence band falls above the highly effective threshold, and the lower end of the confidence band is greater than the needs improvement threshold, the teacher will be assigned a highly effective rating. To receive an unsatisfactory rating, the upper confidence band for the teacher must be less than or equal to the unsatisfactory threshold. So if a teacher's upper confidence band falls below the unsatisfactory threshold, the teacher will be assigned an unsatisfactory rating. To receive a needs improvement rating, the upper confidence band needs to be less than or equal to the needs improvement threshold. So if a teacher's upper confidence band falls below the need improvement threshold, but above the unsatisfactory threshold, the teacher will be assigned a needs improvement development rating. As you can see, a teacher can still have the lower end of their confidence band in unsatisfactory, as long as the upper end is in needs improvement. To receive an effective rating, the confidence band for the teacher can fall completely ineffective or have only one end of the confidence band ineffective. So, if the upper end of a teacher's confidence band falls within the effective range, or if the confidence band crosses two thresholds, the teacher will be assigned an effective rating. If a teacher teaches multiple subject areas that are tested and used for student growth or VAM ratings, the ratings from all of those subject areas are combined into a final student growth rating using a weighted average. For example, if a teacher receives a state VAM rating of 3 based on 60 student tests, and a 5th grade science student growth rating based on 40 student tests, there would be a total of 100 student tests associated with that teacher. In this example, the state VAM rating would be 60 divided by 100, or 60% of this teacher's final rating. So the state VAM rating of 3 times 60 divided by 100 is 1.8. The 5th grade science student growth rating would be 40 divided by 100, or 40% of this teacher's final rating. So the 5th grade science student growth rating of 4 times 40 divided by 100 is 1.6. 1.8 plus 1.6 gives this teacher a final student growth rating of 3.4. Finally, the 2015-2016 agreement with the union is applied to the final student growth ratings. If the teacher's final student growth rating is less than effective, or 2.5, then the average of 2.5 and the final student growth rating is calculated, and that value is used as the teacher's new final student growth rating. For more information on the Manatee County evaluation system, you can visit the Manatee Education Association's website at the link below, or go to the evaluation section of your My PGS account.